Hello, everybody, and welcome to Children's Hour at Reverbia. Yeah! We have some special guests today. Veer McCoy will be telling his original stories, and Haley will be teaching us about lichen, and Cello Joe is gonna sing some songs with us. Why don't we start out with a song about waking up in the morning? How does that sound? Good? What do you think, Cello Joe? Where are you?
I'm technical difficultying.
Technical difficultying. Okay, well then, why don't we start it out with Veer McCoy. Here we go, everybody. Oh, excuse me, I seem to be having the hiccups. Well, things get worked out on the technical side of things. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dusty Bugger. That's right. I'm Dusty Bugger. And it's a joy to be here in the multiverse with you all, talking about my favorite things of Burning Man. The dust. That's right. And the way that it makes your hair look amazing. Oh, are we just about ready? Cello Joe, are you out there?
Hey everybody, this is Veer McCoy. Hey everybody, this is Veer McCoy. Hey everybody, this is Veer McCoy.
Is it your mic?
Hey everybody, this is Veer McCoy. 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 Hey everybody, this is. Okay, I have no idea what's going on or why. I think it's this. There. Hey everybody, this is Veer McCoy, and I am going to be reading the story of Ephraim Fomp and his big time sandals. A book I wrote with illustrations by David Jenkins for kids and big kids too. But before we get into the story, I am gonna play you a little song, the theme song. All right. There once was a boy that lived far away who had very large feet that get in his way. He found some magic sandals, whose could they be? They strapped in his feet and took him on a journey. Ephraim Bump and his big time sandals, magic sandals. Ah. All right, let's get into the story of Ephraim Fomp and his big-time sandals. We're going to start with toe 1. You ready? One fine day, as Ephraim Fomp was out digging for noopas in his yard to taste, he heard a strange sound coming from a nearby hoofty bush.
Can you turn it up? Why is it so low?
Ephraim's ears perked up, and he went to investigate. But just then his mother called him in for dinner. "Ephraim, come get your nardles!" Ephraim scurried into the house for dinner and sat down at the big wooden table. His father waddled in with a sour wince.
External hard drive.
"Ephraim, where's your shoes? Your feet are a mess." Ephraim glanced down at his feet. "But Pop, ain't no shoes fit me." "That ain't no excuse. You wear 'em anyway, even if your toes poke out. Listen, I want you to stay around the house. There's rumors flying around that Sasquatch has been in these parts." Ephraim's eyes popped wide open. "You mean Bigfoot?" Just then, a zook fly landed on Ephraim's big toe, and without even thinking, the other big toe of the other foot reached over to swat it away. That night, as Ephraim lay in bed, the moon peeked in the window and shone light upon Ephraim's big, big feet. Size 21 to be exact. "Ain't no shoes ever gonna fit," thought Ephraim. "Oh well, shoes are dumb anyway." Ephraim smiled and let out a big burp from his dinner. Burp. "Ha-hee, moo muck muck muck." The next day, as Ephraim was out playing, he remembered the hoofty bush. "Let's take a look," said Ephraim. His big-time feet swished and flopped on the ground as he walked. "Oh my," said Ephraim, for under the hoofty bush was the biggest pair of sandals he had ever seen. "Oh my, whose could these be?" They looked very worn in and were made of tan leather with big straps held together by large metal hoops. Shiny gemstones of all kinds were stitched into the straps and soles of the sandals. Ephraim looked around, saw nothing, and heard only the sound of the wind. "Might as well try them on," he said, and they fit almost perfectly. "Ha-hee, moo muck muck muck." Suddenly, Ephraim felt very, very strange. It felt like the sandals were moving. They were. The straps on the sandals began to tighten down, and the gemstones seemed to be glowing. "Hey, hey, hey! What's happening?" Ephraim hollered. He reached down to unbuckle the sandals, but they wouldn't budge. Ephraim couldn't control where his feet were going. "Hey, hey, hey!" Ephraim cried. "I got to get home. Pa'll be redder than a skinned rabbit. Let me go." The sandals made his feet walk forward in a direction he didn't really want to go, away from his home and into the forest of the big, dark, two-tongued trees. The hairs on his toes stood on end as his big-time feet flopped on the mossy forest floor. "Where it taking me?" After a time, Ephraim stopped struggling and let the sandals take him. At least they seemed to know where they were going. "Oh, Pa'll be so mad," he moaned. "Big feet can't do nothing right." The hilltops grew with a rosy light as the shadows deepened in the forest. The stones and the sandals lit the way through the woods, and the smells began to change to a scent of old ancient stuff, like the way Grandma's house kind of smelled. The two-tongued trees were bigger than Ephraim ever remembered. Seeping butterworts and semi-ovate squashes hung from the trees, swaying lightly in the mysterious breeze. "Oh my," Ephraim sighed. Toe 2. By and by, and after a while of miles of walking, Ephraim began to hear a strange sound. From deep in the woods came a gurgling. It was a vomus worm laughing near the thicket of smile. It seemed to be covered in a mucus-like slime. It had many pink sections and was slightly larger than Ephraim. It sat in a giant compost pile. "Oh, please, Sir Worm, don't do me no harm," Ephraim said. The worm coughed up a spot of fresh soil and said, well, he didn't actually say it with his mouth. It was more like pictures appearing in Ephraim's head. The worm seemed to be speaking to him in vibrations. No sounds, yet there were sounds. No words, yet there were words. It was a vibratory story. There were pictures of dirt tunnels and leaves turning to soil, rotting bark, a dead chicken, old bananas. What? Thought Ephraim. This is a confusing mess. More story coming. Other worms, compost piles, more dirt, hard dirt, turning to soft dirt. No shirt, happy worms, full bellies, more mucus, more dirt, burping worms. Ephraim began to calm down a bit. This worm seemed to be showing him what a worm's life was like. "Okay," Ephraim said, "what's all this about?" The worm paused and then spoke out loud from one of its segments. "I have something important to tell you. Worms like to dig into the soil to break it down. They like to break it down and turn it into ground so that the two-tongued trees have fresh food and mineral to grow. Worms like to break it down. My message to you is break it down. If you ever have a frown on your face, if you ever seem to be stuck in some waste, break it down. Break it down. Kiss the dirt. Eat some dirt. It won't hurt. Break it down." Ephraim understood, for the tips of his big-time toes began burrowing into the soil and wiggling around. And Ephraim did a little dirt dance, a bit like he had seen Uncle Puka's Fomp do after the harvest. The worm laughed in between coughing up spots of soil. "Break it down." All of a sudden, the sandals moved forward and almost made Ephraim fall over. "Hey!" Ephraim shouted, but the sandals took him off quicker than a rabbit, making Ephraim walk back into the woods. And behind him, the worm just gurgled. That's the end of Toe 2. Tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for Toe 3, and we'll find out what happens to Ephraim. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Stay peace, stay cool, have a good night. Love ya. Bye.
Wow, that was a great story from Reverbia about Ephraim Fomp. What did you think about it, Cello Joe?
Very, very interesting.
It was. I love the way the worm broke it on down. That was the best part. And I also love that Veer wrote the story himself. That was very creative. Very, very creative. Where creativity abounds here at Burning Man in the Multiverse. Everyone is so expressive, especially here at Reverbia. We're the live music camp on the playa. We've got so many musicians playing live music, and a place where there isn't that much live music, but there's a lot of creativity. We see a lot of amazing, talented artists, and my favorite is the live music. I was hoping that we could see Cello Joe play some cello, but he seems to be clicking and pushing his buttons right now.
We're experiencing some severe technical difficulties over here.
Like what?
Um,
Seems to be working just fine to me.
nope. In the background, the computer is having a lot of problems. Incredible problems. Very, very difficult, very technical problems.
Can everyone see me right now? Am I live? You guys out there? What's the problem? What's the problem?
Nothing. Keep going.
No. What are you doing?
In my virtual backgrounds.
Who gives a shit? I need you to play cello.
Okay.
We're not doing anything.
Give me 5 seconds.
No.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. Well, why don't we get ready for it? Well, we figure out our technical difficulties on our end. Why don't we have Haley perform her song about fungi and lichen?
Hey y'all, it's Hallie Gregg here for your daily dose of Muse Science, as in music plus science. I got a question for you. Have you ever been walking along and come across a rock that looks like this, covered in this weird splotchy stuff? Or how about, have you ever looked up at a tree and seen this weird hairy stuff dangling down from the branches? Or maybe you look at the trunk of the tree and see this kind of thing. Have you ever wondered what that is? Well, I'm here to tell you about it. What you're seeing is actually this thing called lichen, and it is one of my favorite things on the planet. You might be asking, why is that? Well, let me tell you a little bit about lichen. First of all, I got a question for you. Take a look at this picture here. Look at the stuff in the middle of the picture, this weird little kind of like ice cream cone looking thing. What do you think it looks like? Does it look like a mushroom to you? Do you think it's a plant? Like, what is it? How about this picture? What does that look like? Maybe more plant-like, but it's got these weird little curvy things. Well, both of these are examples of lichen, and it turns out lichen is actually two organisms in one, or rather two organisms living so closely together they look like one organism. The two organisms that are living together are fungi, which is basically like mushrooms and mold, and algae, which is essentially just really, 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 really tiny, tiny, tiny plants. Now, when it comes to lichen, fungi and algae are besties. They're buds. They're all up in each other's business. If you were to take like a little slice of lichen and stick it under a microscope, you would actually see algae cells, these microscopic plant cells, right up next to fungi cells. They're living that closely together. All the cells are like intermingled. So why do they live so closely together, and what's special about that? Well, it turns out algae, as a plant, does this really cool thing where it takes the energy from the sunlight and turns it into sugar. It basically creates its own food. Now, fungi can't do that. It doesn't have that ability. So in lichen, another example of which is in this picture, they live together in this thing called symbiosis. Okay, in that word, the prefix sim means together, and the phrase bio refers to life. So it literally means these, things that are living together. So in lichen, this is a special kind of symbiosis that we call mutualistic. It's where both living things are actually benefiting from living together. They help each other out. Okay, like I said, they're besties. Basically, the fungi, the kind of mushroom-like part, provides protection and shelter for the algae, and the algae does its special photosynthesis thing. That's the part where it takes the sunshine and turns it into sugar. Basically, it makes food for the fungi because the fungi can't make its own food. So basically, both organisms are providing something for the other. They're helping each other out. And that's what makes them so special, and that's what makes them live together. And what's really interesting about this partnership is that it allows lichen to exist in some really, really harsh conditions, okay? You can find lichen, in fact, that's this orange stuff right here. A lot of time lichen is green, but sometimes it can be orange too. You can find lichen everywhere from the coldest places on the planet, like in the Arctic tundra, like in this picture, to some of the hottest places in the planet, in the world, like this desert here. This stuff covering the sand or dirt, whatever it is, that's lichen too. So I wrote a song about lichen because I think this partnership is just so cool. I'm going to teach you the chorus to the song, and then I'll play the whole song for you, and if you want to, you can join me and sing along. So here's how the chorus goes. I really like my lichen, and I really like you. I really like my lichen, and I think you'd like it too. All right, are you ready? I'm going to sing the whole song. Hopefully you're singing along with me at home. Starts with the main part that I just taught you. Let's do this. I really like my lichen, and I really like you. I really like my lichen, and I think you'd like it too. Fungi and algae met at a party. Fungi said, I need some sugar, darling. Algae said, I got some right here. Fungi said, cool, I'll protect you, dear. We'll bring our two great kingdoms together, growing rocks and trees in all different weather. A dynamic duo will be the closest. We'll help each other out. It's called symbiosis. Here we go. I really like my lichen, and I really like you. I really like my lichen, and I think you'd like it too. From far away they might not be seen, but keep a keen eye out for that bright minty green. For animals, their food and nesting material. For us, antivirals and antibacterials. Roll call. Pixie cup, ochre disc, old man's beard, ragbag, speckled belly, and reindeer. Photosynthesizing, fixing nitrogen. What would life be like without them lichens? Whoo! I really like my lichen, and I really like you. I really like my lichen, and I think you'd like it too. All right, before I go, I'm going to leave you with this one suggestion. Tomorrow or today, I challenge you to go out into your backyard, find a living thing, any living thing, and sing about it. It doesn't have to be a whole song. You can just come up with one line. But that is your challenge for today, your Muse Science challenge. All right, y'all, enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time.
That was awesome! Wow! Thanks, Haley, for singing a song about lichen and symbiosis and the way that fungi and sugars work together to create mossy green stuff growing on trees. That was cool, wasn't it?
That was super cool. I learned a lot.
Wow, but you know what's even cooler? Just check out this cool. Like, what's happening behind us right now in Burning Man?
We're at Burning Man. Look at this.
There's
Wow.
that lady waving around the big giant rainbows and people riding bikes.
Wow, rainbows.
It's a great Tuesday. It's Tutu Tuesday. Where's your tutu?
I haven't put it on yet. I just got out of bed.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
we'll
was
have to
I was
make
out
sure
really
that you
late
get
last
that.
night.
Oh yeah, what were you doing?
Oh, I was dancing.
You were dancing.
I was dancing.
That sounds like a good way to spend your night. Why doesn't everybody dance with me? Let's do a song about dancing.
Okay. I got my rainbow hat on.
I love that. That's very expressive.
Let's do a song about dancing with rainbows.
Sure.
Okay. Do you want it to be slow or fast?
Why don't we do it in the rhythm to the rainbows that are blowing behind us?
Okay. Dancing with rainbows. We're dancing with rainbows. Dancing, waving these giant, super big rainbows. Dancing with these rainbows, look at them wave. Dancing with these rainbows, look at them wave.
The colors of the rainbow are
Just like your hair.
Red, red, red like a tomato.
Red like a tomato.
Red like a strawberry.
Red like your mouth.
My hair. And orange. What's orange? Can
Hey,
everyone tell me what's orange?
I see somebody that's orange that's hanging out right over there.
Where?
Right down there.
Hmm.
Orange like
I'm orange.
Or it could be like an orange that you eat.
Orange and yellow.
What's yellow?
Lemons. What else is yellow?
Maybe a banana?
The lines on the road are sometimes yellow.
What? The lines on the road, those are yellow.
And green.
Red, orange, yellow, and
Green, like grass.
red, orange, yellow, green. What's green?
Leaves.
What about broccoli?
Chlorophyll and broccoli.
Yeah, broccoli.
And don't forget about blue.
What's blue?
The sky.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The ocean.
The ocean's blue.
Sometimes.
What about a blueberry?
Blueberries. Yeah.
And what about the next color in the rainbow, which is violet?
Violet. Flowers are violet.
Yep.
And purple.
And then purple.
All the colors of the rainbow.
What's purple? How about a giant purple people eater? Oh, I see a bunch of people dressed like bees. Oh. Hello, Magellan.
Did somebody say purple?
Yeah, we were talking about the rainbow.
Ah, yes, the magical rainbow mist that reflects all of the colors of light. In bright white light, there's a million colors.
Hey, Magellan, teleport us somewhere.
All right. Walkie, walkie, walkie. Let's go to the middle of the playa.
Whoa, look at this thing. This is some cool art.
Wow.
Look at all these people laying
Check
out on the
this
ground.
out. That is awesome.
Whoa.
Look at this.
Whoa,
the
it's
shapes and the way
spinning.
that it's
Wait, I'm going to
spinning
play a song that
overhead.
sounds like what this looks like.
This is
I'm getting dizzy. What about you, Mouse?
Yeah, pretty dizzy.
Whoa.
Can we teleport to some new art?
Okay, hold on.
Okay. That was very cool, though. I really appreciated all those amazing visuals.
Wow, it looked so cool.
Yeah, that is so amazing. It's one of my favorite things about Burning Man is everybody brings the best art out here to enjoy.
Oh, whoa, we just teleported.
Woohoo!
Whoa, there's the man. We're riding around on our bikes now. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, it's kind of, the videos, our bikes are kind of hitting a lot of bumps. What's this guy
bumpy.
doing?
It's a little bumpy.
Hey,
Oh,
how's
hey,
it going,
buddy.
dude?
Hey, man.
What are you drinking?
Great. Well, let's go follow him.
I hope he's drinking some water.
Oh, wow. Look at this art.
Whoa,
This is incredible.
look at that. It's made out of metal.
Hey, can we go climb it? Can we go climb it?
Oh, I don't
let's
think.
stick with this guy.
I think that guy said that we can't go climb it.
Ah, okay. Maybe it's not safe. Right?
Whoa, look what I just picked up. It's a
A
giant cookie. Ew. It doesn't taste like a cookie. Try a bite. Eat it. Eat it. It's a never-ending cookie. No matter how many bites you take, it keeps on making more cookie.
Never ending cool. Okay.
Whoa. Well, we should gift this to somebody else because we already had some bites of it.
Sure, yeah, let's give it away.
Okay, let's ride and find somebody to give it to.
Okay, let's go.
Wow, this is so cool out here. Look at the sky. Whoa. Whoa, what's that? What's that?
Oh, wow.
Whoa, it's a person in a giant egg.
Oh, is that over there?
Okay. Here, guys, you want this cookie? Wow, this art is so cool. I'm just gonna keep riding around. Whoa, look at that thing.
Hello.
What is it? Oh, there it goes. Oh, well.
My nose is disappearing.
Whoa! How do you make your nose disappear like that? That's amazing.
I don't know, but I think it's time for Veer to read us a story.
Oh, let's check back in with Veer.
Yeah.
Veer, where did you go? There he is. Okay, here we go. We're going to hear a story from Veer. Dun, da, da.
Hey everybody, it's time for Ephraim Fomp and his big time sandals. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be reading to you from Ephraim Fomp and his big time sandals. This is a book I wrote and it was illustrated by David Jenkins. We are going to start with a theme song. There once was a boy that lived far away who had very large feet that get in his way. He found some magic sandals, whose could they be? They strapped in his feet and took him on a journey. Ephraim Fomp and his big time sandals, magic sandals. Okay, where were we last time? We were on toe 3. Do you remember any of these drawings? I'll highlight real quick. So Ephraim Fomp found a pair of magic sandals under the hoofty bush, remember? And he has size 21 feet, and these magic sandals fit him perfectly. But unfortunately, they strapped in his feet, tightened down, and took him into the forest of the two-tongued trees, away from his home and his mom and dad. So the last time we found out that Ephraim met the Vomus worm. And you remember what the Vomus worm told him to do? Break it down, right? And then the sandals took him off and strapped him down. Okay, toe 3. Trees hold secrets, and these trees held secrets. They were two-tongued trees. Under the ground, most trees have roots, but these trees have 2 giant tongues that lapped up water and nutrients from the earth. You see, the soil has everything the trees need. You can't see the tongues because they're underground. But once when Grandpa Fomp had to cut down a dead tree for firewood, Ephraim saw them. Ephraim, come here, son. Take a look at them two-tongued trees on this two-tongued tree. Hold on a second. Let me get you a picture. There you go. Ephraim, come here, son. Take a look at them 2 tongues on this two-tongued tree. You see there? Of course, the tongues were all dried out by then. But there they were, and so strange. You could tell it was a two-tongued tree because the bark was different, and the pine needles had 5.5 needles in a bundle, 5 long needles and 1 short one. This was definitely a two-tongued tree. It held secrets. Ephraim could just feel it. Ephraim went to touch one of the tongues, and even though the tongue was dried out, Ephraim could still feel the tongue suckling on his hand a little. Careful now, boy, said Grandpa. Oh my, whispered Ephraim. The two-tongued trees made gentle lapping sounds around Ephraim as he flopped along in his big-time sandals. His toes still had dirt all on them from the Vomus worm. Whose sandals are these? Where do they come from? He wondered, glancing down at his big-time feet. How could these sandals fit almost perfectly? And where are they taking me? The gemstones continued to glow, and the bright, shiny buckles stayed strapped tight. Who could have feet this big? They must be somebody's. Size 21. The sandals walked Ephraim on through the woods. In the distance, a medicine owl called. The sound echoed through the woods like a ping-pong ball bouncing back and forth. Medicine owls only call exactly 1 hour after the sun goes down. I'm hungry, said Ephraim, as his belly rumbled in agreement. After looking around, Ephraim found a ripe seeping butterwort to munch on. Except for the owl, everything was so quiet. Ephraim could almost feel the two tongues silently lapping up tree food. "Where are we going?" Ephraim hollered. "I don't want to die in these woods. Those two tongues will lap me up dry for sure." But the sandals just kept walking, and the soft moss squishing beneath them. Other while, back at the hoofty bush where Ephraim had discovered the sandals, a voice spoke. "Where's my sandals? And whose footprints are these?" Toe 4. By and after a while, sounds began weaving through the forest. Was it music? The sandals took him towards it. Soon Ephraim came upon an old fellow playing the strangest music he had ever heard. The man had a great white beard and leaned up against a giant two-tongued tree. He held an instrument that looked like a guitar and had skin stretched across the top of it. It had a funny smell to it, too, like goats. Something in Ephraim sort of liked the music, strange as it was. "Excuse me, mister, but what kind of music is that?" asked Ephraim. The old man spoke without looking up. "It's blues music. Special blues music. Heh heh. Sour mash, yummy gummus music in the key of Z. You see, the blues in Z minor is not so easy to play. You've got to know the notes. They often slip away." And with that, the old man's fingers moved across the strings to make the most magically strange sounds Ephraim had ever felt. The sandals moved Ephraim's feet in time with the music. "Ha-hee, muck, muck, muck." Ephraim giggled as the notes tickled his tummy. Oh, this was yummy, yummy gummus music. "Now, how'd you like to play the blues in Z minor?" asked the old man. "What? But I don't know how," said Ephraim. "Oh, sure you do," replied the blues man. "It don't matter what notes you play or what scales you lay, as long as you got something to say. Then hey, let's play it, create it, bake it, rake it, rhyme it. What time is it in?" The blues man continued. "The notes in between the notes are the best because they make us unique from the rest. Come on now, play a jiggle with me." I don't know. I don't really know how to play no music," said Ephraim. "Oh, sure you do," said the old man. And with that, he handed him an out-of-tune bassoon, and together they began to croon. Oom, honk, honk, boom. They played music that no one had ever heard before. Suddenly, the big-time sandals moved forward, and Ephraim almost fell over. The bassoon fell to the ground. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, where you going, Sandals? We was just getting started. I was learning to play bassoon, cried Ephraim. The Sandals began to force walk him back into the woods, and the blues in Z minor echoed into the distance as the old man just kept on playing by himself. "I wasn't done yet. Where are we going now?" sighed Ephraim, looking down at his sandals. "These sandals seem to have a mind of their own. I wonder if I can talk to them," said Ephraim. "Hey, Sandals, stop right here." The sandals just squished along the moss and thick duff of the forest floor. Ephraim gave up and let them take him. Other while, in another part of the forest, the vomus worm knew something was very, very wrong. "Worm, where's my sandals?" The vomus worm shook and then nervously laughed. And that, my friends, is the end of Toe 4. Tune in tomorrow night for Toe 5 and Toe 6. You can find this story and the audiobook version of this on Amazon or at my website, VirTunes, VIRTunes.com. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time. Awesome.
And we'd also just like to say that make sure you decommodify yourself and don't go to Amazon and buy the Ephraim Fromp book, because you can catch the rest of it right here on the Reverbia
Reverbia.
3/4 Children's Hour.
That's right.
3/4 of an hour, children. Okay, that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Make sure you tell your friends.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.